this is Power Commander software, and this is what they call a map. Okay? And a map is just basically it's mapping out the fuel injection that's in there. So this axis is your throttle position, and this is your RPM range. The dyno only knows RPM. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to do something we call tack ratio, and I'm going to match the bike to the bike being the Power Commander to my dyno software. So I'm going to pick a target RPM of 8,000. I'm going to run the bike up to a full throttle, and I'm going to see where it goes to. It could go to 8,000, it's probably not going to, but whatever it goes to, if it's 6,000 or 7,000 or 9, I'm going to put that number in the second box here and then hit apply. And the next time it should be like right on or close. I might have to do it twice, but that'll match the two together so that my dyno's reading the same RPM as the Power Commander is. Once I get that matched up, there's two types of tests. So we have a quick sweep test, which looks like this. It's just a representation of a wide open throttle pull. So I'm going to go to say 3,000 RPM, I'm going to hold it there. When this little taskbar goes across and gets to go, I'm going to lock the throttle wide open, and I'm going to hold it there until we get to the finish line, which should be somewhere around 10.5, maybe a little higher, probably around 12. Yeah, right around 12. So we'll go right up to 12 and see what it shows for the RPM. I mean the horsepower, I'm sorry. And we'll do that as of before. We're going to do 2 runs just to see what it has now as far as horsepower. Then I'm going to go into my actual tuning. That tuning is done in what we call a step test. The step test is exactly what it says, step by step. So we'll start at 3,000 RPM, and we'll go every 500. So we're going to take a reading at 3,000, 35, 4,000, 45. I'm going to be able to control the throttle position. So getting under 10% is hard, you're like barely touching the gas. So we'll probably start right around 10 to 15. And the way it's going to work, I have a target. So you see my target is 3,000. What that means is the dyno is going to go to 3,000 and it's going to stay there. It doesn't care if I'm at 10% or 100%, it only knows RPM. It holds the engine at 3,000, I'm controlling the throttle position, so we're going to sit right here on this box. And at that time, we're going to be reading the exhaust the whole entire time. We're going to stay there. The machine's designed, now when I have a target, it's going to go to the target. Once it maintains the target, it knows it's there. Once it has 4 good samples of the gas reading, it's going to turn this green line red, and it's going to say recording. That means that's the machine basically telling me, okay, I got a good reading, you can move on to your next target. So I'll hold it there another second or so while it's red, then I'll release. When I release the throttle, it sees the RPM drop. So what it does, it records the data here, it'll say, okay, at 3,000, this was the mile an hour, the horsepower, and the torque. And these were the carbon, hydrocarbons, and carbon dioxide that was coming out of the exhaust. So it records that session of 3,000 testing. It also automatically moves the next target to 3,500, so the next target here is now going to say 3,500. I'm going to do the same thing, I'm going to jump right back in at 10% throttle, now I'm going to be testing this box. Same scenario, I hold it, get a good reading, let go of the gas, then we move on to 4 and all the way down. In the lower our throttle positions, we can't get all the way up to obviously 12,000 RPM because we're just giving it a little gas. We'll probably make it somewhere around 6,000, 7,000. As we increase throttle position, we'll be getting higher and higher into the RPM range. So we're going to go every 500, we're going to take readings of all these boxes, and then we're going to go back and make the modifications. So when I'm done testing my 10% column, I'm going to go back, I'm going to review my data, look at my carbon readings, and I'm going to make the adjustment to the column. These are all 0 right now. If it's 0, that means it's not doing anything. It's not making a change, it's running off the stock ECU. Over here you can see some places it's taking fuel out. So if I get a reading that's too high, I'll be taking fuel out. So those are -4s. And over here it's a +2. So depending on what the reading of the exhaust is, like I said, when I'm done with my column, I'm going to review all the data and make adjustments to each box. When I'm done with that box, I'll hit send map, and that programs that map now into the Power Commander. And then I move on to the 15, 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100. Work our way through the whole map, and then when we're done with that, we'll go back to making some wide open pulls so we can see the difference ahead, before and after. But the before and after is just this column. I'm going to be tuning all these columns.